Welcome to TransformHer, the show where we ignite audacity and break barriers, providing women with practical insights and tangible resources for their journey to the C-suite or as leaders in entrepreneurship. I'm your transformative guide, Ifoma Williams, and we'll be right back after this short break. Welcome back. On the show today, our topic is strategic leadership in service, governance, global partnerships, and transformative impact. And we have just the right person, the Director of Lions International Africa for the years 2024 to 2026, Princess Bridget Adetope Tikus. You are welcome, ma'am.
Thank you for having me.
It is such a great honor. And just before the show started, first of all, congratulations on your appointment.
Thank you.
It is truly impressive. And just let us shed a bit more light. When you say International Director of, or Lions, the Director of Lions International Africa, what does this mean?
It means that as International Director, you have a role to galvanize every Lion member, over 35,000 of the Lion members in Africa, cut across 54 countries. And you as the director, you are in charge of implementing the policies that come from the international headquarters, that come from the international president. Because you as director, you are the brand ambassador for that Lions year. So you ensure the policies are implemented the way they should. You ensure that service activities in the 8 global causes are carried out in the way transparently that they should be done. You ensure that in case there are projects that some districts cannot handle and they apply for international grants, your office, your role as international director is to kind of do an in-between, let the international president or international office know the importance of this project to the community and let the grants, which will be used judiciously, be handled down to them. So it's a whole lot of activities, and then you travel a lot. In actual fact, what we were told in Melbourne immediately after the election was that, yes, you are international director for Africa, but you are not limited to Africa.
Oh, wow.
The international president can say, go and represent me in Brazil, go and represent me in Malaysia, wherever the spirit directs him to ask you to go, you go. So it involves a lot of traveling, including your 54 countries for Africa.
Fantastic. So, I mean, I'm so impressed with what it is you have done. I was reading your profile, and I think I read that you have been a Lion since 1983.
Absolutely.
Wow. So, as a Rotarian, right, this is this sisterhood in service.
Yes.
So this is an interview that's so dear to my heart. Rotary International, one of the things we've done is eradicate polio. I think we're easily the major player in the entire globe. I want to know about Lions because I'm interested in what you do in service. What does Lions International represent?
Lions International, we have a slogan that says, where there is a need, there is a lion.
Wow.
That kind of encapsulates what Lion stands for. We want to be the first whenever there's a disaster, like an earthquake. We want to be the first, like where in 2020, when COVID was ravaging all over the places, we were there to do masks, to distribute, to give palliatives. We want to be there, at least to ensure that before we got there or after we got there, things got better.
Okay.
That we left a mark, an indelible mark. that will tell the society that indeed the lions passed through here. And so we have 8 global causes. Rotary, beautiful, with the polio business. We are sister associations who virtually do the same thing.
Yes.
The only difference is that in the Lions Club, we have 8. It used to be 5, but then we discovered from researches that we just must add those other 3 global causes. So we are into pediatric cancer. We found out that this cancer is on the rise. And you see little babies, you see little children at that age, and they're already suffering. And science is trying. Science is attempting to capture how to treat, how to discover all the how-tos involves money.
Yes.
So Lions Clubs International found a way we can help. We can alleviate whichever way we can, even if it is advocacy. So, pediatric cancer, we also have diabetes. For the adults, you discover that diabetes doesn't work alone. He has accomplices, cousins, and uncles. He will go with himself, high blood pressure. He will go and before you know it, you are talking of kidney breakdown, there's kidney dialysis, there's all sorts associated with diabetes. Whereas, if people are told about the way or how they can check their blood sugar, and catch before it goes haywire, something can be done. Disaster relief. Earthquakes don't tell anybody it's going to happen. They are coming. It will just happen. So, disaster relief became another one. Then environmental. We believe that if we don't take care of the environment, even the oxygen we breathe and the carbon dioxide that we get out for the plants to use, they are the ones that will also give us the oxygen. We find out that they are already contaminated. So the environment became another global cause that Lions International believe we have to let people know that what we do with the environment is apparently very important. Otherwise, it turns back to hurt us. The 5th global cause is youth empowerment, youth development, because the youth of any nation is the future of that country. So we believe that if we catch them young, they're still malleable.
Yes.
You can still kind of program and condition them into the code of ethics of Lions International, into the objectives of Lions International, which is to show a little act of kindness. And so we have the Leos, the youth of between 18 and 28. And we also have a program that is called Lions Quest, which is aimed at getting the young ones out of the street. It's say no to drugs. So youth is a big deal for us.
Fantastic.
Then, if you move away from the youth, you now see us going to humanitarian relief. Humanitarian virtually covers anything and everything. Because you see so many people being introduced humanitarian. Then you wonder, what do you do to qualify? Many people would rather do acts of kindness to either family members or those that will come back and say thank you to them. But Lions Clubs, we do to statistics. We don't even know who we serve. But we know that you have brought smiles to those faces, those gloomy faces. You have brought smiles. You have brought hope. And so that's the reason why Lions Global Courses went from 5 to 8. Yes. The last one that I was going to talk about is vision. It was discovered that 80% of the blind people you see out there, they have no business with being blind. But because
it was preventable.
They were preventable stuff. If they knew. Years ago, Lions Club, they were fighting onchocerciasis. Is the medical terminology for river blindness disease. And in those 6 states of the federation, they have this. It's not a regular mosquito. Once it bites, whoever gets blind.
What? A mosquito bite turns a person blind?
Insect, yes, an insect bite.
Wow.
And they go blind. And all they need for this was 1 single dose of tablet called metizine or something like that.
Wow.
So when the villagers came to us with that kind of shout for help, it was discovered that it was this insect bite that was causing it, onchocerciasis. Nigeria Lions couldn't handle. We ran to our headquarters and they sent grants. They sent medical personnel. They sent this team. And right now, there's nothing onchocerciasis in those places anymore.
This is
because
fantastic.
It's river blindness. It
Wow.
catches and gets to bad people when they go to fetch water in those rivers. And those are that's the only place to get water to use.
Wow.
So we are also heavy on eye. We do eye transplants. We get from India, we get donations.
Okay.
Because some people, when they die, they leave a will, like harvest this organ immediately.
Okay.
So we do eye transplants also. So we are
Wow.
really, really heavy on eye, knowing fully well that the eye is the window to the world.
Wow. This is a really big deal. I am so excited that once again, I want you to tell us the story. First of all, why are you not lioness? And tell us the story of how you became not just, because you've been regional head and all of that. How did you become international director of, Lions International for 2 years? I want to hear the story.
Wow. Okay. I'm going to say the way it is, because I know there are young girls, there are young ladies, there are even, don't let me now do young or old. There are ladies out there, because there's really never a time that is too late to pick up wherever you are and say, I'm going to get this, I'm going to do this. It's all a matter of, you are focused, you are determined, and you go for it.
Okay.
So, because there are so many ladies out there that would need to listen to this kind of story.
Yes.
Because Adetope Taiko sitting here is just like any other lady out there. Yes, I was born into the royal family, maternal, paternal, correct, but that's where it stops. My parents were teachers, mother teacher, father teacher, average family. So it's not like maybe she fell into wealth or something. No. Beautiful. I'm laughing because the next point is going to make everybody here look at, okay, by 22, I was married.
Just like me.
22. So when everybody was still busy, let's do Gen Z, I was already a mother. No time for Gen Z. I was already a mother. Because a year after I got married, the first child came.
Wow.
And I was working in the oil industry.
Okay.
It used to be Unipetrol.
Okay.
Transformed into Wando.
Okay.
And Wando is now NNPC. But then, way back, 81, I was in Unipetrol. And my husband was in Gulf Oil, which now became Chevron.
Okay.
Both of us were. He was upstream, I was downstream.
Okay.
So, he, an engineer, petroleum engineer, now got transferred to Warri.
Okay.
This was me here at the headquarters, personal assistant to the operations director, and I thought, soft life, this is it.
I like the fact that you are using all these Gen Z terms.
And
Princess, you are a Gen Z.
I
can feel it.
Believe me.
Because what is a soft life?
Soft life.
You even look like you are living the soft life. I mean, in addition to this, your international, you are the one they sang that song for. The Emperor, the Conqueror. The lion is really here now.
My daughter is my best friend, so it gives me all those stuff.
So tell us the lion story.
So he was now transferred, and I'm like, what do we do? He said, I don't like my family to be separated, one in the east, one in the north. Maybe you should resign.
Oh, wow.
And I resigned from my work, and I was enjoying my job. But I couldn't put up a very good argument not to resign. So I went to my boss and said to him, sir, I might be resigning for this reason. That was you are the last member of staff we want to lose. You are so hard, you are hardworking, you are diligent, you take your job with all seriousness. Let's see what we can do.
Hold the thought, ma'am. Because this is such an interesting story, this is a good time to take a break. Guys, hold the thought. Her boss, when she said she had to resign and relocate to be with her family, says, you are hardworking. Let us see what we can do. Princess is going to continue the story right after this short break. Okay, so what happened?
So he actually now went like management meeting. It's not like there's no Unipetrol office in Warri.
Okay.
But in the depot, there has never been a woman, a female, never, all over Nigeria. Warri, refinery, Port Harcourt, no woman. So here is my boss now went to the management meeting, proposing that that hardworking lady, that one you know, yes, let's transfer her to Warri and manage the depot. And everybody thought, where is this coming from? There's no woman. It's not possible. She can't cope. She can't. So he said, but I think she can. He didn't tell them about the transfer. It was like, let Unipetrol be the first to do this. Back and forth discussions. I got the letter to go and manage the Warri depot.
Wow.
And so I went, excited. I didn't know what I was going to meet at the other end. When I got there, I now knew why there had never been no room for women. Even the urinary, the restroom, everything was male. Nothing for female at all. So if I needed to use the bathroom, I had to jump into the car and go take some 5-10 minutes drive to the Unipetrol main office. Office to do whatever I needed to do, and then come back and pretend like all is well. And everybody thought, give her 1 week, give her 1 month, give her 2 weeks. 1 week became 2 weeks became 1 year. I was still there chilling and enjoying my
chilling. I just love your vocab, honestly. Wow.
And when the men saw that she is not going anywhere, they all virtually became my friend.
So I'm beginning to see how the seeds for lion. But let me let you.
That's set in the background.
Yes, I love it.
From that experience, it told me that there are some things you don't take. Don't let nobody tell you it has never been done before. Don't let nobody tell you because of your gender you can't do it. And don't let nobody tell you maybe you cannot, but you must be prepared. And so I was in that capacity, in that role, I became he, she.
He, she.
Or she, he.
She, he.
I became she, he. And I had...
Embraced it.
Yeah, I embraced it, and it's a success story. Cut a long story short, as I was going in that profession, I was also moving in the Lions Club. I joined as a lioness, actually.
Okay.
And it was limited. You can't vote. You cannot as a lioness.
Wow.
Your vote don't count. You don't have a voice. We were the appendage of the Lions Club. In actual fact, we were the activity of the Lions Club that founded the Lionesses Club. Like if you have Victoria Island Lions Club and there's Victoria Island Lions Club, they join you as an appendage to that Lions Club. But eventually, when the opportunity came for us to become lions, of course, every lioness in this side of the world took the opportunity and we all became lions. So I became lions, and with that attitude, I think that's the way God wired me. With that attitude, before you know it, they've never done it before, Princess Tacos will do it. It has not happened before, it will happen. And so I became gradually, and for whatever reason, I don't know how I gravitate and find myself in male-dominated arena. As we speak, I'm the only female that is a trustee of the Nigerian Lions International Board of Directors here in Nigeria. The only female trustee.
This is...
So, again, galvanized with the energy to want to serve, I need to expand the scope of influence. If this is Nigeria, let's go to America. So 10 years ago, in fact, 2012 to be precise, I slotted in an application to become the International Director for Africa 12 years ago. Believe me, if anybody told me he will come in 2024, I'm going to say, you don't know what you're talking about.
Wow.
But anytime it got so near, the goalpost will change. Anytime it got this near, the goalpost will change. And the men will take it, another man will take it. This man will take it. And I wasn't afraid to fail. And I was not afraid to take risks. I saw what was happening as like a boundary, like this is how far you can get. You can't get beyond this. So once I can cope with the trauma of those changing dates, then I'm good to go. So 2012, okay. 2020, okay. And here we are, 2024.
You know, this is such a packed interview. Ladies and the few good men who are listening, the first thing that Princess said is, strength has no gender. Maybe not in those words, but when she was in Warri, she realized that what the men were doing, if she had to fit into the mold, on the day she had to wear jeans for climbing, she did that. And then on her journey and quest to become the director for Africa, she said she was not afraid to fail. She was not afraid to take risks. She remained diligent. And another thing she did was she began to chalk all of this down to experience. And she has a story to tell about leadership, about governance. So if you can, give us parting words, in a few minutes.
Okay. I'm going to advise the young lady out there. Look for a mentor whose leadership style and whose values are those you aspire to be. Approach that mentor. Let that mentor know your aspirations, the reason you are approaching him or her to be your mentor, and your challenges. Get ready to be criticized. Constructive criticism when it comes, because it can open up the blind spot. And that is where you see your weaknesses. Just remember that it's only your good friend, it's only a good mentor that can tell you this is it. And so get ready to make changes, get ready to adjust so that you can be a better version of yourself. You cannot walk the leadership journey alone. You need a sounding board. And I'm praying that that sounding board will be a good mentor, deserving of that name.
Thank you so much. As we wrap up, you heard it. You need a good mentor, but there was a powerful punch as Princess was wrapping up. She said, your blind spots. Leaders, you can't see yourself 360. But when you have good mentors, right, they can tell you what your blind spots are so that you can turn these blind spots into insights. It's been wonderful having you on the show.
Thank you.
And you have to come back and tell us more about Lions.
I'm ready.
This is it's mind-blowing to hear what Lions International is doing and this life of service and good governance, truly impacting communities. It's been an amazing episode. Princess will definitely be back. She's promised us that.
Yes.
But until next time, please stay tuned for our coaching segment, which comes up next. Welcome to this episode of TransformHer, where we're still discussing the very important topic of restraint in leadership. Now, still on reading the room, today we'll be looking at practical techniques for reading the room. And these techniques include observation, asking questions, adjusting your approach, and checking in with your audience. As a leader, it is important that you spend the first few minutes observing your audience. What might be helpful after a good icebreaker or introduction is that you actually give people maybe room to introduce themselves, just as a way, for you to listen and observe the different parties in the room. The next thing you must do is ask open-ended questions that will enable you gauge the mood of your audience. Remember that the response that you are looking for is not just what they say, but the body language and the energy of the people that you have asked these questions. Then you must adjust, you must modify your tone, your language, and your message based on the audience's response. It is not what you say, as I continue to say, but how you say it in leadership. And so you must be able to adjust. Your para-language comes into play here. It's very important. You must be able to adjust to suit your audience's responses so that it's a two-way flowing, effective communication scenario. And then finally, you must check in. Periodically ask for feedback to ensure that you are aligned with the room's energy. Make sure that everyone feels heard, respected, and there is a flow. Even in the most difficult conversations or negotiations, it's important to check in and gauge so that you know how you should adjust your mode of communication as a leader. Until next time, when we will still be discussing this very, very vital topic of restraint in leadership communication, it's goodbye.